Books and quotes. Isn't this part just so fun? Okay, as I blind the camera. I'm not sure if that was hitting the camera or not. A hole was found in the nudist camp wall. Police are looking into it. It's too dark, I can't see. I love marriage proposals. They're just so engaging. All right. Quotes. Just because I didn't react doesn't mean I don't notice. Didn't notice. Did so terrible in that quote. A lot of times people think that I'm not watching stuff or that I'm not very observant just because I'm not reacting to it. And I'm under the impression that you don't have to react to everything that you notice. And actually, I kind of enjoy it oftentimes because that means that they underestimate me. But just don't forget that. Just because someone looks like they didn't notice something or they didn't react to it doesn't mean that they didn't notice it. So if you keep doing something over and over and you're just like, hey, I'm getting away with this, it's likely going to come back and get you. The other quote, I'll find a way or make one. I love this quote so much. This quote just pumps you up. Like, it just shows, I try to have this mindset as much as possible, and I say this all the time, but it just shows that you're willing to do whatever it takes. Like, either you'll find a way to find a solution or you'll make one yourself. Like, just that determination behind this quote is so awesome. I love it. So that's what I recommend you do. You either find a way to fix your problem or to be happy, or you make a way. Just don't let anything stop you. That's it for jokes and quotes. Inside the Introvert. So I was working for a guy a while back, pulling up wood flooring. Not something I've ever done before. And it was fairly cold out, so I had a hoodie on. Of course, I was inside his house, but it was still, I think we had the back door open, so it was a little cool. But I ended up getting overheated, and I tend to do this a lot. I don't know what it is, but I can easily either overheat myself or overwork myself, and I guess I just push past my limits and don't realize it, and then I get nauseous. And so I ended up getting nauseous, and I went outside and kind of threw up a little bit. I didn't have much because it was in the morning. Plus, that's another thing. For some reason, when I wake up early in the morning, I don't feel all that great. And it was funny though, he asked me if I was hungover, and I had never had anyone ask me if I was hungover before. He didn't know me at all because I don't drink at all. But I thought that was very funny because I was like, oh, that's interesting. I could totally see how it would look like I was hungover, even though I was just got too hot. The next story, I went to a Chinese food drive-in, and they had like this semi-transparent, kind of thick plastic stuff over the window, like the drive-through window. Something you would use like in construction. And I was like, great, I wonder if I need to go in. I've been inside this place, but I'd never been through the drive-through before. And it happened at a time that I was sick, so I really didn't want to go in. That was the only reason I was going through the drive-through. But I pulled up, and this lady like pops out of it. I guess their window was broken, that's why they were using that stuff there. And she asked me for my order, and I told her what it was, and I like repeated it, and she's like, okay, I'll be right back. And I sat there for several minutes. It was almost like they were having to make my order right then. It was very odd. And so she finally, I think it was a guy that came back out, and he checked with me to see what my order was, and I was like, I talked to you on the phone. And so he comes back in, he took my credit card, came back out, gave me the credit card, and then I'm just sitting there waiting. I was like, I wonder if they're ever gonna bring my food to me. When she finally brings it to me, she just thrust it out the window, and she lets go of it. I barely had a chance to like hang on or to grab onto it. Yeah, it was just kind of funny how it was all like, okay, here you go. It's like, this wasn't my fault. Like, I called it in, I came a few minutes later than I was told. But it was definitely an experience. And the last story, someone at work commented that they saw my Christmas lights recently. Like, I previously lived in a house, and now I'm living in an apartment. And I didn't think I was even going to get to put out my lights this year, but I did get to put them out. My landlord was very nice, and she let me run off her power, or their power. And everyone there likes them, and it just is best case scenario. But anyways, I had posted the pictures on Facebook showing my Christmas lights. So when someone said they saw them, someone at work, I figured they meant on Facebook. And she said she drove past and saw them. I was like, well, that's kind of weird, because I live in a gated apartment building. So like, you can see them from the road, but you're looking through a gate, and it would be very hard to really see them. Mainly you can just see my big snow globe. But so anyways, I was like, well, maybe she did. She was referring to my old house, and because she she had drove past when I had them at the house, which actually isn't very far from where my apartment is now. But so anyways, once I realized that, I didn't really want to call her out, and I was like, oh yeah. And then she started explaining to two other people that sat around me where my house was located, and I was just I didn't know what to do. I was entered a complete introverted state, because I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know if I should call her out. I just was quiet. I was just like, yeah. And so she was asking me what road it was on exactly, so they could go by and look at them, which they had both seen them on Facebook as well. I don't know why they would need to see them in person. But yeah, so I really hope they don't actually try to go by, because it's not at where I told them it was. It's in my apartments. And I'm fairly certain those two people know I live in an apartment complex also, but I just sat there like, I don't know what to say. But that's going to be it for this podcast. And that's going to be it for videos. This will be the last one. There's an introduction video out there, so go check it out. It'll give you more information about everything that's going on with my podcast. The videos up until now have been posted on YouTube, and even after this, the audio will be posted on YouTube. My throat is killing me. All the audio is also posted on SoundCloud. It stays on there until I need to delete other ones for room. I've got an Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, I've got pictures, funny pictures and stuff, and Twitter, I've got videos. And you can contact me on any of those, so feel free to make a comment. And that's it. So take care of yourself, because there's only one you out there.